Do not move to St. George without knowing these 13 things. Hi, I'm Sharee Harris with iPro Realty in St. George, Utah. And today I'm going to tell you 13 things that you should know before you move here that might even change your mind. First, let's talk about the insects and the reptiles. We do have cockroaches and scorpions. Luckily, we have pest control. They come to my house every 3 months. They spray. I rarely see them, and if I do, they rush right over and do an in-between spray for me. So they're really not an issue as long as you keep up with the pest control. As far as snakes, people warn that there's lots of snakes out here.
Why did it have to be snakes?
I've seen maybe 2 or 3, and that's when I'm like hiking far from my house. I've never seen any around my house or downtown. And lizards, they're totally harmless, but they still make me jump because they surprise me. You'll see them on your fence or your house, or they'll go across the sidewalk and just kind of stop me for a second. In fact, when we first moved into the home we're currently in, I remember it was so nice. We could open our front door and our back door and we get this cool breeze blowing through the house. And this was new for us because we didn't have to worry about flies and mosquitoes like where we lived before. And so we could just leave our doors open. So we'd been doing that each morning, and I noticed one day that there was a larger lizard hanging out on the window by the door. And it stayed there all day long, and the next morning it was still hanging out there, and I was like, this is so weird. Why is it like watching us through the window? And then at that moment I noticed this tiny little lizard on the wall in my house. And evidently when we had the doors open cooling off our house, the baby lizard had got in our house. So luckily for a flat piece of paper, we were able to kind of slide it on and get it out of the house and back to its mama. I still feel a little squeamish when I see the doors open on our house though, cooling it off. Number 2 is about our holidays when they land on a Sunday. So say the 4th of July is on a Sunday, our fireworks will be on Saturday. Or Halloween lands on a Sunday, then trick-or-treating will happen on Saturday. A lot blame this on the members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, better known as the Mormons, the dominant religion in this area. And so we have these changes that we make, and people complain about it. So I didn't realize that was unique. Did a little research and realized that it's not just in Utah. So if you're watching this and where you live, your community makes some adjustments when the holiday lands on a Sunday, comment where you're from below. I personally think that Halloween should just be changed to the last Saturday of the month. It's so nice when it lands on a Saturday and the kids get on their sugar high and I don't have to get them all ready for school the next morning. Number 3, while we're on the topic of Sunday, some of our stores have unique hours on Sunday. They're closed or they open a little bit later or close a little bit earlier on Sundays. So it's something to be aware of if you like to do all of your shopping and errands on a Sunday. Number 4 has to do with liquor. So we have a state liquor store, which is new for many people. And our state liquor stores are open like Monday through Saturday, open around 11 and they close sometime between 7 and 10. And so you can only get liquor from like the grocery stores or a gas station if it's below the ABV 4%.
Why is the rum gone?
So some of our laws or ways that we deal with liquor is a little bit different here. Number 5 is a lack of nightlife. So some people complain that we don't have a lot of live music and a lot of bars. And so they can go to Las Vegas as one solution that's been found. That's only a couple hours away and Vegas has quite the nightlife for you. Or some people have found that having a nice evening in their friend's backyard, the weather here's perfect, and just enjoying each other's company has been a nice change. Alright, number 6 is some people are just so used to this environment of the graffiti and homeless people and trash, and it's just kind of what they're used to, that they are shocked when they get here and they go to the parks and our bathrooms are clean and we don't have graffiti everywhere, and we really don't have a lot of homeless people around on the streets or in our parks. And so I don't know if this one should even be on the list, but many people commented that this was a huge surprise when they moved here. Number 7 is people actually talking to you, taking an interest in you.
Well, I don't want that.
People will smile at you in line and start chatting with you. Your neighbors might show up with like a plate of cookies or a fresh loaf of bread and just want to get to know you. So if you want to be totally ignored, it's a little bit harder to do here. Number 8 is that some people say there's not enough for the teenagers to do. So we have plenty of things outdoors with hiking, biking, kayaking, and but the summer heat comes and teenagers aren't known to like get up really early, and so they kind of miss out on that. So especially during the summers, some say there's a lack of things for them to do. We do have Laser Mania, Fiesta Fun, skating rink, swimming pools. So there are those kind of things for them to do, I would say, as well as when school's going or if they're involved with extracurricular. My experience personally has been that my teenagers have a lot of great opportunities, so I haven't felt this as much, but I am all for youth having great opportunities, so I would never complain if we had more things for them to do here. Number 9 has to do with our mall. If you love to go to the mall, you'll be disappointed. Ours is not really big. COVID did take a hit on it, but even before then, it wasn't great. That being said, we do have some strip malls that you can check out, and Las Vegas, like I mentioned before, only a couple hours away. They have a lot of shopping there. There's also, if the mall isn't a big deal, I mean, online shopping and all the other stores take care of everything you really need. So personally, it hasn't been a big thing for me, but if you love to go to the mall, you may be disappointed. Number 10 is we have a monsoon season, which really surprises a lot of people when they're moving to the desert. So we don't get a lot of rain, but when we do, a lot comes down in a short amount of time. So I've talked in great detail about this on another video, and I'll make sure the link is below. Number 11 is low wages. The pay isn't great here. So we've attracted a lot of people who are retired or people who can work from anywhere. So they picked to live in this beautiful area and keep the great wages that they already had from somewhere else. We also have people who create their own businesses, or there are good paying jobs here as well, so they've landed one of those. Or some people just find it worth making the sacrifices in other areas so that they can live here. Number 12 is, if you love the snow, you're going to be disappointed. If it ever does snow here, it rarely sticks, and if it does, it melts within a couple hours. So if you need your snow, you can go to Cedar City, it's about an hour away, or go a little bit further and go up to Bryan Head, the ski resort, and get your snow. So you will find it gets really hot here during the summer. Our winters are really mild, and I go into more detail about our weather in a video that I'll put the link in below. Alright, number 13 is that we attract a lot of visitors here. So our population grows greatly during the weekends and school breaks. So you will find the trails packed with people, lots of bikers on the side of the road. We also get to host like some pretty big events like triathlons and marathons, and they're so great to see, but they do take planning on our part. Certain roads might be closed, so you have to plan your route to get into town or when to run your errands. So it's just something that you have to keep in mind, knowing that our population can grow dramatically at times. This list was compiled from my own experiences, from talking to people, asking questions on social media, and I found that there's a lot of diverse feelings, and what's really negative for one person is a big positive for another. And for me, the good far outweighs the bad. And I tend to be the person who looks for the good, and that's what I see is the good. I hope this has been helpful. Make sure to subscribe so you can keep updated on what's happening with real estate and in the St. George area. I'll talk to you soon.